Welcome to GLS Carriers Presents Team Talk. I'm Ken Cox, and I stutter.
That's today, the best you could come up with.
That's it. Yeah.
I figured you'd say you were mowing your grass in your galosha boots because of all the rain we've been having.
It has been a lot. We lost power last night.
We did too for a minute.
For just long enough to reset the clocks.
I hate that. Like if it's gonna go out,
go out for a while.
Yeah, don't just go out for 2 seconds so I have to go through and reset all my clocks.
Let me find my candles, right? Let's do this, Amish style.
I'm prepared.
Today we've got Francis Ham, Kenny Kuntz.
Howdy.
Behind the scenes we've got Danny.
Yo.
And we are
Drivers for Drivers.
We did it 2 times in a row and did good.
I just keep moving my lips.
Yeah, we've got a driver anniversary. Joel Johnson's been rolling with us for a year now.
Great.
So excited about that.
What a great guy, too.
Yeah, super fun to work with.
Yeah.
Very inquisitive. He's got him and his wife, they homeschool. There are 4,000 kids.
They have a lot of kids.
They have a couple. Yeah. And they do a lot of homesteading type stuff. So we've got a lot to talk about that way. I would say it was probably one of his hobbies, which is something we'll talk about later. Last week, not last episode, the episode before that. So we do these a week in advance. And sometimes we forget some stuff. Like when this airs, we'll have Memorial Day weekend that's come out.
Yep.
We'll speak a little bit on that. And then when this airs, we'll have the Western Days Parade going on, and we'll speak a little bit about that. But Mental Health Awareness Month posed a question out there, what do you guys do? We got a couple of response back, and I thought it was interesting that Mark, Josh, and Cindy, both all those guys came back and said, hey, when we're down, we're feeling, like the world is on us, we pop out the Bibles and we pray. And that's something we hadn't really talked about last time, and I thought that was really cool that they would, they threw that out there. So Mark, Josh and Cindy, thanks for throwing those in there. Yep. I think it's really cool that all of our drivers do a lot of other different things, and it creates this tossed salad of personalities and teamwork and whatnot, and all these different ideas that help us grow and become better.
Absolutely.
I dig it.
I was going to say, don't ever be afraid to share something with us unless it's stupid.
Yeah.
Well, that was supposed to be a joke.
I just think of all the things that I share that are stupid.
Yeah, and those pictures that were shared too of I don't know if they were sunrises or sunsets, but with the different colors and stuff is just awesome.
Yeah, Cindy, keep sending that stuff in. Awesome. Marketing, I know they enjoy it. They're throw it up there in our social media. I'll be scrolling through Instagram or something and see that, and I'm just like, oh yeah, I remember she sent that in. That's a awesome picture. Mm-hmm. I think it's really cool. She does a really good job out there.
For sure.
I was going to say, like, churchy type things are a lot of times they're very personal to a person, and so they're afraid to share that, and have somebody make a comment that might be hurtful to them. I really liked what Cindy did. She shared a scripture and talked about prayer, which for somebody who might not be into prayer or scripture could kind of close off. But what she did that I thought was really interesting, and what I really loved, she talked about her interpretation of what she was reading. And it was about seeing the good in the bad things in life. And the pictures that she sent were of these beautiful sunsets or sunrises. I can't remember which. And she said that the reason these sunrises and sunsets look so beautiful right now is that they are, and I'll put these up while we're talking about it, they are so beautiful because of the fires that are going on right now in the part of the country she's in. And she said, even though there's something not really pleasant going on, you can find some beauty in everything. I just thought that was good.
Yeah,
really cool.
That's right.
If you ever speak to Mark and Josh and Cindy, too, they're just a pleasure to speak with.
Oh, yeah, salt of the earth.
Yeah. You answer the phone not knowing what to expect. It's them, and they make your whole day different just speaking with them. Just good, down-to-heart people.
So we had Memorial Day Memorial Day weekend.
Yep. And, we filmed this a week ahead of time. So today's Friday. Memorial weekend is this weekend. Monday's Memorial Day. I know that's not just a holiday. That means a lot. We all have lost loved ones that we recognize, and we recognize them year round. But this is a day to really acknowledge that those who have served in the service and helped protect us as a country, first responders who are out there helping us every day in everything that we do, and those who have really ultimately have paid the ultimate sacrifice as well. I know we have our American flag here, and I absolutely love this country, and got to recognize those who have helped us as a country get to where we are today. So definitely, take that time, that moment, and I know I will, and just recognize what they've done and where we're at because of it. So
I agree.
Me too.
Thanks for serving, Ken.
yeah,
It was my pleasure.
yep. Thank you, sir.
Got to do a couple cool things while serving. It's not a story I can easily tell. I do choke up a lot when I do it. I'm just going to hit on it a little bit. So I was over there in the Netherlands, spent 3 years over there, and we had lost a good friend, Darren Stark. Got in a motorcycle accident. I was cut off by a drunk driver, and just an amazing individual. He'd walk in the room, everyone was all smiles. I had the honor and the privilege of escorting him back and going through the funeral process with him. If you've ever seen the movie with Kevin Bacon, Taking Chance, it was a lot like doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Full dress blues, getting him on and off a couple different flights, and it was just a humbling experience. This gentleman, in the Air Force, you've got leadership schools, and he had just completed Airman Leadership School, and he hadn't just completed it, but he had completed it in one of the top awards, the John Levitt Award, and he was, did that. Spent some time, I think, in Afghanistan. Just a really cool guy. So, anyway, Memorial Day for me, that brings up a lot. I mean, it was 2018 in March when that happened, and so, yeah, 2018, and so it's, to me, it's not just like barbecues, hanging out,
Mm-hmm.
and time off from work. It brings up a lot of those emotions, a lot of those memories.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think about that, and I think about all the other men and women who have served in the forces, and just all the stuff that they've accomplished and gone through. And
Absolutely.
Sacrifices.
Yep.
had a grandfather in World War II, leader of a tank division, and he had got shot in the buttocks and wasn't able to go out. That next, I think it was 3 or 4 days later, his tank platoon went out there, and all of them were, sent home early.
Mm-hmm.
And so, to listen to him tell that story was pretty gnarly. To watch him walk, this was, he's since passed, but he's got had a little limp and whatnot. But yeah,
Sure.
So when you're out there, you're burning your burgers and eating your hot dogs and whatnot. Just remember, their sacrifices.
Absolutely.
The benefit of running, of the show running, for us, it's before Memorial Day. For you guys listening, it's after, is that you can tell us what you guys did. Let us know what you guys did in the comments for Memorial Day and the things that you do to do that. We'd love to hear what you guys do.
Absolutely.
Yep. And then this will air, and then we'll be getting ready for Western Day Parade.
Yep.
We'll have a truck in there and a bunch of people running around with banners and shirts and, supporting GLS and our sister company, Giltner.
Yep. And I believe this year's is honoring the first responders
It
in
is.
the parade. So that's great too.
Yep. We'll have part of something I do on the side is I work with Magic Valley 9/11 Memorial, and it's we fly a huge flag. It's about 1/4 of an acre large across the canyon, and we'll have a float in there as well. And the whole idea behind the Memorial 9/11 is obviously 9/11, but it's also first responders, military, that kind of stuff. And so they'll also have a float going on and taking donations to buy the flag this year. And so
That's great.
it's part of it too.
Absolutely.
Do we know the history of the Western Days Parade? I can't remember, I mean, we might not. If you guys know, let us know in the comments. I don't remember what it is.
Yeah, let us know what the history is on Western Days, and you might get a little couple of dollars.
That's right. That's right.
Danny, I think you had a question for us.
I do have a question for you guys. I was thinking about this just the other day. I wanted to know what are some of the hobbies that our current drivers have, and how do they maintain those hobbies on the road? And right along with that is maybe have you guys tell us some of the hobbies that you have and have had, and how you maintain that on the road. So yeah.
I know a couple of our drivers' hobbies.
Yeah.
I think Mr. Debsky has the world's best drone I've ever seen.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good hobby.
Absolutely.
He doesn't collect belly button lint. Just so you know, that was a word I had to get in today. Danny put me up for that.
Yeah, so far you're winning.
I like razoring and boating and stuff, so my hobbies I really couldn't do on the road, but I've seen guys in truck stops with remote control cars that were just amazing. I mean, they'd gather 30 people around them watching them run these remote control cars. Just amazing pieces of machinery. I know he spent a lot of money on that stuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen other guys working out. It just makes me hungry.
Yeah.
Okay.
You had mentioned seeing somebody that had created kind of a rig on the front of their truck that would let them
Do workouts, yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing.
You said something about rubber bands, so those little ones, right?
Yeah, the resistant bands.
The resistance bands. Hey, Mr. Debsky, send in some of that footage of your drone work. We'd like to throw it out here so people can see what you're seeing out there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, even a picture of you with your drone. I'm kind of interested in the types of drones that people have. So yeah,
I've seen him. He gets it pretty high. You can see a bird's eye view of the whole truck stop or wherever he's at, when he's parked at a rest area. He gets that bird's eye view of everything. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Francis, what's some of the things you would do on the road or hobbies that you
Well,
adopted throughout?
I tell you, when I was traveling, culture was really what I was into in the different parts of the country, traveling around. I remember going up into the Chicago area, Illinois, a lot of pastas I would eat. The culinary culture. Going down into the southern part of the United States, having some good fried chicken and some pork dishes, some collard greens, things of that nature.
Fried okra.
Yeah, fried okra, man. That's good stuff. Texas, you get your Tex-Mex, And then if I ran into California or whatever, I'd get some of the street tacos, and things that were out there. And it was never the same in a different part of the country. It's kind of like if you were to have street tacos back in that day, and I'll just pick a state, say Tennessee or something like that. It's like Taco Bell, It wasn't the same as it was when you got it in California. It was just authentic, and I used to really enjoy that, and that would make my belly button grow out just a little bit further.
Nice.
So,
Ding, ding.
and then the construction. I'd always, as I was running through different parts of the country, you could see the change in construction, Southwest style, colonial style, things of that nature. It was kind of cool to see it as it changed, and really just the art. There's some magnificent artwork in this country, and artists who not only are contractors building houses, but how they build them and what they do is just amazing, absolutely amazing. So just cool stuff like that.
The United States is such a big
Melting
area.
pot.
Yeah. That you get like, I visited my brother down in Florida, and some of the construction they have to do because of the humidity and stuff like that would never fly in Idaho. So yeah, it's really cool to see that difference in how they've adapted to the environment that they're in.
Yeah, no, that's right.
I like to play music with my belly button.
That is disturbing.
So you got an Audi.
Oh, let's see. I can't read my handwriting. So we want to know what you guys are doing for hobbies.
Yeah.
Whether it's, send us pictures, send us videos, show us what you do on your off time, what you do to keep your minds, focused on the road, going from point A to point B. And, excuse me.
You got emotional about that.
It makes me so happy. And what are your goals? So like a year ago or so, Jeffrey Allen came to us and said, hey, one of my goals is to put enough aside to pay off all of our debt and to allow my wife to stay home and be able to do what she wants to do, take care of the kids, and whatnot. A year later, he comes up and says, hey, you guys working together, working with us, I've accomplished this goal, and, together as a team, we did that.
That's
And
cool.
I thought that was really cool. So that was one of his goals. And I need to know, Jeff, what is your goal now that, you've accomplished that? What are you doing to further yourself? And that goes out to the rest of the drivers too. What are your goals for 2023 going into 2024?
Yep. Be cool.
Do you have?
Oh, I was just going to say, I feel like a goal really helps push you along when things get tough, or when things get tough. Focusing on that goal and that end game really does just keep you going forward.
Yeah.
Right. So like, Tiffany, she's got a vision board that she puts up, and she'll, cut out magazine articles. The beard's trying to take out the microphone. You need to calm down.
Calm down.
That's a short-term goal.
She'll cut out newspaper articles and stuff, and she wants this truck, or she wants to flip these homes, or she wants to do this, and this. And so this visual reminder every day, and when she gets up, that she sees those things.
Yeah.
And so, is that something that you guys do out on the road? Do you have a vision board, or do you sit there and positive affirmations that you read to yourself, or what do you guys do? Help us, because I need help.
And I think it's kind of nice. You were talking about is it Alan?
Yes,
Jeffrey's when you know somebody's goal, when they share it with you, it's kind of fun, because you kind of become part of that goal and helping them to get it. And then, or when they reach a stepping point, towards that goal, you can't help being a little excited for them. So share your goals with each other, so we can help each other reach those goals.
Yep.
What are some of your goals?
Not to eat as much today. That's my short-term goal.
What size pizza does fit in my belly
Right.
button?
I do, and speaking of goals, this doesn't have anything to do with goals. In the future, if you guys would be interested, I'm going to give these guys a word for every show. They're going to have to put it in, and then I want you to guess what you think that the word is that I gave them. So today they've thrown in belly button a lot. In the future, I'll give them a word. If you guys can guess the correct word, we'll try it for a couple of shows. I'll send you something.
Okay, sounds
Just
good.
saying.
Ooh, some swag.
Yeah, I just think that'll be fun.
You bet.
What else do we got going on? Goals and hobbies. Talked about the parade, Memorial Day.
Yep.
I think we're ready for a safety tip.
Oh,
Oh, you're on the spot now.
yeah.
Safety tip for this week.
Better be good.
I'm going to pick navigation. With all the electronics that are out today, it's very easy to grab a phone or even on your dash in your vehicle, and you can put in an address and it'll tell you how to get from point A to point B. But as we well know, we're not driving a little four-wheeler out there. We're driving a tractor trailer, you know. And sometimes that navigation will route you where you really don't want to be. So I would say really pay attention to that. If you are using something to help you get from point A to point B, it's not just an old map anymore. You know, you put it in there. Just really look at the route and make sure that that route is a good route and an acceptable route for you driving a tractor trailer before you start following those directions and then potentially get yourself into trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Google is not truck route.
That's right.
It is not.
I think on that same line, do all of your pre-digital stuff before you start driving. I was just thinking about like if you have a bunch of podcasts that you like to listen to, get them all queued up before starting to drive.
Sure.
Make sure you are getting your maps plugged into your electronic devices before driving, and then it's all ready for you, and you don't have to be distracted by it.
Yeah.
You know the excuse. I talk to drivers, and their excuse when I say, well, why did you go that way? Well, that's the way my GPS said to go. I'll have a little story.
Yeah.
I had GPS, and I always had it on shortest route, you know. Want to save a little money.
Sure.
Well, it kept taking me off these exits and then put me right back on the freeway because the freeway was curving and the exit would go straight and back on. And I didn't scroll up and read the whole thing, you know. I should have tied it into my map. This is GPS first come out. It just started irritating me. I thought, well, shoot, they must know a shortcut. Nope, right back on the freeway again.
Yep.
I have a fun one. Heidi one time put in a GPS coordinate, and it said drive to here, turn here. She got to a point that said get out and walk, and she was so offended. She's like, what? She had to walk, the rest of the way.
Then another time, we went to Boise, and I was trying to find how to get back on the freeway.
Mm-hmm.
And my pickup kept taking me all these back roads. And I'm like, well, I thought the freeway was the other way. I end up pulling over. There's actually a setting in there that says avoid freeways.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, really?
Yeah.
I thought my pickup was out to date.
I can neither confirm nor deny some dirt road driving.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, it's kind of funny you say that because when we were out on vacation, my wife and I were in Astoria, and we needed to make it over to Woodburn. And she goes, I don't want to go through Portland. And I go, it's kind of hard to avoid Portland when you're in Astoria and you're trying to get to Woodburn. So we did that. We went on our navigation system and avoided highways, and it routed us through the mountains. And I mean, we were going through subdivisions and all kinds of stuff, you know. It took us about 2.5 hours to get from Astoria over to Woodburn, but we did not hit any interstates. We didn't hit any traffic, and it was kind of cool, actually, you know, when you're in a four-wheeler and you're just driving through there. It was kind of some nice scenery.
Right on. I watched a gentleman on YouTube. He went, I think he started out in Oregon, and I think he ended up in Florida. But he took all back roads, no paved roads. It was all dirt roads. And some of the stuff that he went through and saw, and I thought, oh, that'd be cool. That's a bucket list item. I guess that would be one of my goals.
Yeah.
One day to be able to go traverse the United States all on dirt road.
That would be cool.
I think that'd be all right.
Yep.
Well, that's my goal now.
Hey, glad we could help you with that.
I would wonder. You know, I don't do a lot of goals. I like helping people. Like that's what I do.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's something I'll do for me.
Well, that's a good goal, too.
I dig it.
Oh, is that me?
It's not me, Danny. What?
It's not me. It's not me. It's Francis.
It's me.
Francis. I think you should answer that and see.
Probably Cindy calling to tell us something.
Tell them you're on the air.
That's right. That's right.
Big deal, Dan.
That's right.
Well, if you have anything else you'd like to add?
No, I want to thank everybody, again, for everything that you're doing out there. I know you're going to see this a week after. Hopefully everybody has a great Memorial weekend. Again, thank you for everything that you do. We very much appreciate you.
Ditto.
There was one thing you had mentioned that if they do, that they might get some dinero. I can't remember what it was. Do you remember? If we can't remember.
Yeah, I can
Ken
remember.
said something.
It was the Western Days Parade.
And-
Oh, yes.
And
Tell
history
us.
of.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you can find out what the history of the Western Days Parade is, throw it in the comments. Ken has promised to make it worth your while. It might be tooth fairy amounts. It might not be, but it'll be worth your while.
But doesn't
Be able to buy
Google just
pizza.
tell you anyway?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it shouldn't be too hard.
Possibly.
You're not going to climb in the cabin and put money under their pillow or anything, are you?
You never know.
Dressed like a little fairy. Tooth fairy, that is.
Well, as we end this episode, we want to thank you for being safe and making the right choices. Remember, you're the eyes and ears on the road. If you see something, say something. And we all succeed when you complete your trip safely in your home with your loved ones.
You bet.
See it.